Katie Nicholson joins us from outside Ontario's legislature tonight. So, Katie, can you take us through what the medical health officer in Peel is doing?
Yeah, Adrienne, 250,000 kids in Ontario will not be going to school tomorrow for in-person learning. This comes as public health leaders are breaking publicly with the province and pushing for new restrictions.
This is not the shutdown many medical experts wanted. Under Ontario's new rules, scenes like this were allowed as COVID numbers soared over the weekend.
The case counts are, horrific. They're not what we want to see.
Toronto's Dr. Eileen Davila, one of 3 medical officers of health who penned this letter to the province's chief doctor, pushing for much stricter measures. A province-wide stay-at-home order that they say is necessary to prevent and mitigate large-scale morbidity and mortality and irreparable strain on the healthcare system. Peel's medical officer of health says conversations are ongoing, but he's not waiting, taking decisive action on another front today, stopping in-person learning in schools in Peel region for 2 weeks.
We said, why don't we try to make it a bit of a cooling off period for schools, hopefully get other measures in place that will bring community transmission down as well.
The education minister's not budging, releasing this statement. Schools remain safe with strong public health measures in place that have kept nearly 99% of schools in Ontario open. Some statisticians see the numbers a little differently.
We are seeing school counts at the highest amount that they have ever been at before.
His read, more schools should move online.
So Ottawa, York, and Toronto all have numbers that support movement online as well. They all have a huge increase in the number of cases.
In York region, north of Toronto, support for that idea from this doctor.
I'm seeing droves of kids coming in because of exposures. I want schools open. I have 3 school-age children myself, and I want them to be in school. But I don't want the schools to become another source of the problem.
So this is so stressful for so many, and I guess hundreds of schools in an Ontario hotspot clearly now closing. What are you hearing, though, about word of more closures coming?
Yeah, the picture is changing, and it's changing throughout the province. Tonight, we learned that Guelph doing the same thing as Peel, so students there moving to online learning as of Wednesday. That'll be for another couple of weeks while they sort of watch the situation. And we know of about 20 schools here in Toronto doing the same thing because of ongoing COVID investigations.
So closing schools, I guess that's one thing the regional chief medical officer of health in Peel feels like he can do if he doesn't get entirely what he wants from the province. What else is there to do?
Well, Dr. Lowe said he wanted to stress they were really trying to have this dialogue, work something out with the province. But, if it doesn't happen, they're in dire straits. And he told me that lawyers there in the region are looking at and studying whether or not they can have their own stay-at-home order for the Peel region. So if, they can't get any joy from the province, this may be an option. And you can be sure that the other medical officers of health throughout the province will be watching that very closely. Adrienne?
All right, Katie, thank you.